I'm going to double down on my collective diagnosis, which is we are in a real borderline personality disorder cultural moment. There is a hypervigilance to perceived rejection, abandonment. There is the splitting. There is the us versus them. There is the complete lack of emotional regulation. There's the impulsivity, the homicidality, the suicidality, like all of it. It's kind of like we are in a mass moment of that. And so applying principles, if we're going to speak just rigorously as like clinicians and use the tools at our disposal, grounded in love, grounded in our principles and our values, is like we do need to promote more of one of the most efficacious treatments for borderline personality disorder is dialectical behavioral therapy. So I encourage people to think more dialectically, to apply those principles, to go study up on it, for clinicians to study up on it, and maybe to use that. So mine's a little bit more of a practical reflection overall.
I think for me are two things, and that's figure out what you're afraid of. But the secondary thing is there's a quote that was by Dr. Sean Stevenson that I just clung to back in some days of darkness for me personally and professionally. And it goes something like this: trust yourself, because until you do, you will continue to play small.
Good quote.
For me, just in reflecting on this whole conversation, I mean, I have to end by just being frank that like we do have really serious problems that need to be addressed in our field. I'm heartened to see that like we're growing, we're having more and more people feeling less afraid to speak out. We're starting to organize and starting to make some changes, which is really important. But I mean, there are countless people who are being harmed by this ideology and this culture that's allowed to fester, in these practices that are allowed to occur underneath our standards and ethics and all of these things. So I really want to encourage everyone who's doing this work to keep at it. If you're not getting through to people, listen to what's maybe not working and keep trying, and, don't get disheartened, because I think that we're getting there. I think we're like kind of approaching this critical mass where like things start to happen a lot faster. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, everything that we can accomplish.